2, 1.
Oh my God. I'm so excited. I get so excited when we have a fabulous guest. Oh my God. And I love this guest too. Because I really feel like we're kindred spirits. Like you low-key talk shit and I love it.
Yes. No. The moment that I heard about you, I was like, oh, I like this Sarah chick. Let me get to know her a little bit.
Oh, we're going to reveal who it is.
Oh,
we're going to reveal.
dance?
Oh my God.
Okay.
This is our little intro song. Oh, look at it. Candiace is giving us the shimmy.
Ooh, little shoulder shimmy. My signature is the shimmy.
But you're so tiny.
What I do.
It's like, what do you shimmy there? It's like
Just whatever is here.
it's like a little booby and then a lot of hair.
Yes, it is. That's exactly right. Boob and hair. A little boob, a lot of hair.
It's a little boob, a lot of hair.
Yes, that's me.
You guys know this face. I met you for the first time at Monique Samuel's live podcast show at AMP in Rockville.
Yep.
But you are also one of the fabulous stars of Real Housewives of Potomac.
So crazy.
It is Candiace Dillard Bassett. She is here. Hello. Oh my God.
I'll give you a pageant wave.
Oh my
Hi.
God.
Yes.
I am so excited because we've been talking about this. You have a very busy life, you and your husband.
Yes.
We're going to get into all your businesses.
All our business or our businesses?
Well, both.
Yes. Okay, great.
But
Very
you
good.
guys were such good sports when we were at her show because
Oh my God.
I love you in season 4.
Yes.
Wait, was it
Season 3.
Season 3. We're
Yep.
coming up on season 4.
Yes.
But basically you were saying like you were talking about Chris's dick. Like it was like it will forever be etched. I'm sure he hates this.
So delicious. He's gotten used to it. Like at first he was mortified and I was like, I mean, I'm sorry. Like you knew this was coming. Like there's going to be elements of our lives that we don't maybe want to discuss at length, but be proud of your brown dick. Like,
I love
be
it.
proud of it.
I thought
You
it was
should be.
awesome.
Yes.
Oh my God. You two are very well matched, by the way. I think you're a good couple.
It's crazy how like the stars aligned for us. Because I never saw myself with, I say this a lot, a divorced man with kids. I was like, oh, hell no, I ain't doing that.
That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot to adjust to. And I think the saving grace for us, I think the way that the Lord came in and got us together, we were friends first. And I think that the fact that we were like really just like super platonic, only friends for like 3 years is what made it work for us, because I got to know him as a person without like the guise of like, oh, he's trying to get in my drawers or whatever he was trying to do. And then after a while, it's just like, oh, I like you as a person. You have a good heart. You have a good soul. You're a real person. And he can say the same for me. And it's like, okay, I can now overlook the other stuff.
So during that 3 years, were you guys dating? I'm assuming you were dating other people.
I was with the man I thought I was going to marry, child.
Really?
Yes. I thought I was with my husband. And Chris met him. And Chris was like newly divorced, and he would always talk about, the ebbs and flows of that. And he started dating people, and he would talk about, he would call them the girls, he would refer to them as the place where he met them. So like, oh yeah, McDonald's is whatever, and Taco Bell, this girl, she's whatever. That's not where they met, but I don't want to give away anything.
Right.
So
you're like, why are you hanging out at these fast food joints?
Yes.
I was thinking.
No. Like, and I would be like, and we would talk like about, well, what do you think of her? Oh, she has nice teeth. She has a nice butt. Like, have you slept together? We would talk about that stuff. And I never thought about anything other than like the platonic relationship that we had.
So what happened to the other guy you didn't marry?
Who cares?
Okay.
He was not ready. He wasn't ready for all of this.
Oh Lord, I know they are. It's fine.
We were together for 3.5 years.
Yeah, I hear ya.
And he was not ready. And he's still out here doing anything, so it's fine. I made the right choice.
You moved on. You made the right choice. And it's like a godsend, right? Because if somebody's not ready, the worst thing would be having the wedding, doing all that, and then they decide a year in, they can't do it.
Yeah, which happens. And
all the time. I tell my girlfriends that all the time, because lots of them are at the point of giving ultimatums. And I'm like,
God. If you got to give an ultimatum, girl, just go.
Just go. Just go. Well, we got a ton to cover in your life because you guys, I know, I cannot believe it. This season, season 4, is premiering May 9th.
May 5th.
Is it May 5th?
At 9.
Okay, May 5th.
I keep saying May 9th too. I don't know why I keep doing that.
May 5th at 9.
May 5th, it's the time, yes. It's May 5th at 9. But I keep saying May 9th.
Me too.
At 5 maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
The dyslexia of it all.
Okay, so tell us this. We were introduced to you and Chris last season, but how does Bravo even approach you to get you to be on this show? How do they find, like, this is my thing, is like, do they just look up on Instagram and find your email address? Like, how the fuck do they find you?
So there's a whole casting process that they do. But I will say this too. I spoke this into existence for myself.
You did?
I did. I believe in that. I believe in speaking what you want into the air and putting it out there and letting it permeate the sky and letting, whoever you believe in, I believe in like praying about things and, putting it out there for yourself. So when we first started watching the show, I was like, why am I not on this? Like, I should be on the show.
I love you. Oh my God.
What are they doing? Like, where was I when they were casting? Because I should be on this. And I remember saying, I'm going to be on the show. I don't know how, what's going to happen. I said it to Chris. I was like, I'm going to be on the show.
What season was this? Was this like season 1, season 2?
I said that. I said season 2. I was like, oh, like, this is going to happen for me. And sure enough, like, I was like leaving Chris's restaurant. I was still working with him and for him at the time, which is a disaster, but I was hosting. So I left there. I was going home. I think he sent me home that day because I was mouthing off. And I got in the car and I got an email. And so I am a miniature actor, like very tiny. So I get a lot of like casting emails from like backstage and whatever. And I saw this just random casting email and I was like, oh, this must be for another little thing. But then I saw it said like ensemble cast looking for dynamic women. I was like, wait, this sounds like what is this? So I responded, and then you go through this whole like, casting process, interview and whatever. And then you don't really even know for sure like whether you're on the show or not until like midway through a lot of the time. Like they're testing you until they're not. Yeah.
So like they like brought the film crew, like filmed you guys, but you had no idea if it was going to be a go.
Yeah.
And then, you work with them for a month or something and they go, oh, by the way, we really like you guys.
That's literally what it's like. Yeah.
Do you think when they were doing that, they were also testing other people?
They were, yeah.
Really?
They don't tell you like
who they
outright,
are. Right?
But I'm a journalist and a stalker, so I found the other person.
You did?
I did. Yeah, I don't know how I did it.
Damn, that's disappointing. Like that's disappointing that they come and film you and then they're like, I'm sorry,
right? It's not you.
We're going with the Bassets.
But a lot of times they'll have you as a friend if they don't cast you full time. Like, so like, it's like the consolation. So like I became the full-time person and then maybe the person that was not full-time became a friend.
Now what's the deal? Did you grow up in DC? Did you grow up in this area?
No, I'm from Atlanta.
You're originally from Atlanta?
I'm from Atlanta. My family was military. I was born in Biloxi. We actually lived here for 4 years. We moved to Atlanta when I was in like 5th grade. But most of my family is in Atlanta. And we have a lot of connections to people in Atlanta. So that's where I say that I'm from because that's where my roots are. I moved here in 2005 for college. I went to Howard University.
Love it.
HU. And I never left. And because we also had ties here, I have family here. My parents made a lot of connections here when we lived here. So it was like coming back to my other home when I moved here. And then I never left.
You stayed here ever since?
They sucked me in. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And tell me this, when you were growing up, you were telling us before we started the show that you were you were like a pageant girl, like baby
from very early. Yes, I was.
And you were adorable. On your Instagram, you post pictures of when you were, I mean, you're as beautiful then as you are now. I mean, you were like the cutest.
Thank you.
People must have just like fawned all over you.
I was really shy. Like,
really?
My mom put me in my first pageant at 5 years old. And because my mom is like she's always, if you look at pictures of her, she's always had the big hair and she always dressed, and she's a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, which is like a big deal. And so their colors are red and white, or crimson and cream. So she was always wearing red. Like all my baby pictures are of me in red. Like everything is red. My hair bows, my dresses, my shoes, lipstick in like 2nd grade was red for picture day. So she is the reason that you have this crazy beast before you today. Like she made me this person by putting me in these pageants.
Let me ask you this, because all I know about pageant, like I grew up in rural Maine, right? I mean, there was not even a pageant option. All right. I mean, I guess you could do, the children of the trailer park. I mean,
USA
they never win anything. I mean, nothing. Like. Yeah. I mean, you're lucky if she's got a full set of teeth, and they bring her out. Like, really? I mean, that's true. It's like, oh Miss May, look at her. She's got full teeth.
Her teeth. She's winning.
This is great. We'll put you in the top 20. Now, but did you actually want to do it? Because, on all these shows you watch, Dance Moms, they say, oh, my daughter wants to do this.
Yes.
So you're 5, you're 6, you're 7 years old. Did you enjoyed it?
I had a blast. I loved it. I loved the way that it made me feel. I loved the challenge of it. And it was fun. I mean, yes, there is the elements that you hear about on Toddlers and Tiaras with the crazy moms and the girls cutting up dresses. That stuff has happened, not to me, but I've seen it happen. But for me, my experience has always been incredibly positive, empowering, and it's what has pushed me to want to empower women even more because of women I've met through competing my whole life.
See, that's what every woman that I've ever, because we've had Ronica Cleary, she used to work at Channel 5, and she was big, she's a big pageant person, and that's really how she paid her way through college and beyond.
Yes.
Every woman who's ever competed loves it.
Yes.
Loves it. And it's so funny to me that it gets such a bad reputation.
I know.
Women shouldn't be doing this.
Right.
We
it's
shouldn't
objectifying
have
us. And
I have never met one woman who's come out of the pageant circle and said one negative thing. They have the best memories. They're like, I made money. It gave me confidence,
exposure.
And I'm like, how did this industry get such a bad... I maybe because Donald Trump bought it. I don't know.
That's part of it, I'm sure. I think that part of it is the way that society views women, and they see, because everyone gets hung up on the swimsuit competition, right?
Yes.
So why are women on stage naked, objectifying their bodies? And it's that's one way to look at it. Or you could look at it as we're proud of the work that we did to have this body, and we want to show it off. And it's just a matter of the way that patriarchy is allowing us to see ourselves, because I never thought of it as I'm objectifying my body to be in a swimsuit. Now, I do think that there's a time and a place and an age for that. So Miss Teen USA, for example, they made a change where now the teens aren't in swimsuits, they're in fitness attire, fitness wear. I think that was a good choice because
when you're 15,
12 to 17, why do we need to see you in a two-piece, in a skimpy two-piece? You can show off your athletic body or, your teenage adolescent body in a fitness outfit. But I think for someone like me, and someone like the two of you, if you worked hard, and I know that
I don't even work hard, I take it off.
But you have a journey. You have a weight loss journey, and you're proud of your body. I've been on your Instagram, girl, when you had all your goodies out, and I was like, yes, Sarah, you better have your titties out for the people. And I love that. I love that. Well, and you're proud of your body.
Yes, because it took me so long to get to a place where you're confident. And that's what I want for every woman. It's it doesn't matter if you're 10 pounds overweight, underweight, you should just be proud of who you are. Are you healthy? Has God given you one more day on this earth to be impactful?
Yes.
Worrying about your weight and what you look like is crazy.
It's futile. It's for what? For what? And then there have been a lot of changes too in the pageant systems over I'd say the last 5 years. They're becoming a lot more accepting of the different body types and shapes, because there was a time when it was if you weren't a super tall glamazon with the high cheekbones, they weren't looking at you. And I'm 5'2" and a half, so I'm short. That half is important. I'm short for a pageant girl. And for a while I was always told, you're going to have a hard time winning because you're on the shorter side. And I was like, fuck that. Let me get me some stripper shoes. I got these. I literally have these 8-inch clear stripper heels. I wish I would have brought them. They're literally 8 inches. And I put them under my dress. And so I'm 6'1" in those. And I was like, okay, what's next? Okay.
You are amazing. What was your mom doing this whole time? I love the dynamic. We saw a little bit of it last season with you and your mom. We're going to see more of it.
Oh my God.
I mean, your mom is ultimate entrepreneur.
Yes, she's a girl boss. Yeah.
She is a girl boss. Yes. So she is a therapist, and has kind of a network of other therapists, right?
Yes.
So what is her specialty? Is it couples therapy? Is it?
She does it all. She does couples therapy, marriage counseling, addiction, all the things.
Is it hard to grow up? I've always wondered if it was hard to grow up with a therapist parent, because you can't really have a moment because they're you know what's happening here.
Everything is psychoanalyzed. We were at the dinner table and she's like, well, we need to just have you tested because this could be a little bit of bipolar disorder. It's another world growing up. You can never just have like an adolescent angsty moment. It's always like relegated to this diagnosis. So that was not always fun growing up with that. But on the other side, I think I learned to not be afraid of my mental health and be afraid of going to therapy, because it was such a non-taboo topic in our house, especially in the Black community. That's huge, because a lot of times you come across Black people that are not willing to go to therapy because of what they think it means or what it says about who they are. So that's part of what I like to push, is that there's nothing wrong with caring about your mental health.
I mean, I say it on this show all the time, and I tell people in real life,
yeah.
And I think there's a woman who's actually advocating for it now, but I'm like, mental health should be free. I mean, that should be included in our health insurance.
100%. We got birth control. Let's get mental health.
Yes. You should be able to call up a therapist 10 times a year or whatever is allocated by your insurance, because I don't care. And even if you had the most ideal childhood, guess what? Our parents are human. They're carrying baggage that they project onto you.
100%.
You know, everybody, no matter what your circumstances, needs to go. And that's if things were relatively good.
Right.
Then if you had like a parent that was an addict or
PTSD,
trauma,
right. Yeah.
You're talking, how do you get through life, which is already so difficult without it?
Yes.
So your mom was such a trailblazer. I mean, that's really.
My mom, she's every woman. She, as Whitney Houston and Shaka say, she's every woman.
Wow.
She really paved the way and made my sister and I, who are the two girls in the family, like we're so fearless and strong. And a lot of that is from watching our mom growing up. So
I bet.
Yeah. She's crazy though. She's nuts. But
I can relate.
We love her, and we laud her as just, the matriarch of the family. And then even in my family, it's mostly women. So it's all of my aunts. There are like 9 women out of 11. My grandmother is one of the 11. And just the women run shit in our family. So I think growing up seeing the matriarchy kind of like rise up in the South, in Demopolis, Alabama, where, that's not.
I mean, that's really hard to do.
Yeah.
Talk about racism.
Listen.
I mean, I've been to the Mississippi Delta.
Boy.
It's it's really tough. So, I mean, to come through that's really amazing.
Yeah.
So, okay, now tell us this. Like, I want to talk last year we sort of saw your marriage, your relationship.
Yeah.
On the show, of course, they're going to show you just sort of the highlights and things that worked out. And then when we left that season, you guys were getting married.
Yes.
You have since gotten married.
We're married.
Yes. I know. It all happened.
Yeah.
And you had a great spread in People magazine.
Oh my God, that was crazy.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. So wedding planning was fine until the end. And people always say, oh, I don't want to get married. I don't want to plan a wedding. I want to just elope. And I was always like, elope? Like, why would you ever want to do that? Like, planning a wedding is fun and it's great. And then like 2 months before the wedding, I was like, fuck this shit. Like,
I should have eloped.
We should have eloped.
It's so much work, isn't it?
Oh my God. But you know what? It's not really the work that becomes like the stressor. It's the people and their opinions and the crazy moms. Like my mom, like I wanted to pull my edges out. She just, people make your wedding day about them.
Yes, definitely. It's about your family. It's really not about the two of you.
Right.
It starts out that way.
Right. But then you quickly discover like, oh, you can't put Uncle so-and-so next to cousin so-and-so because they were fighting 20 years ago and they hate each other. And
we're long story short, I'm getting married August 10th of this year. I don't have the ring yet.
No, you are not.
Yes, dead serious. I finally picked out the ring. So it could be coming at any moment.
Our anniversary is August 11th.
Really?
Oh my God.
Well, you have good
joint wedding.
You have a
parties.
Good aura. So I like being in your realm.
I give you all of my great aura. I give you all my good juju.
You really do.
Yes. Oh, that's amazing. Congratulations.
I always like being around really spiritual people that are like really truly have faith in God.
Oh, yes.
Because then all things happen for them. Because when you have that kind of faith, like
you believe.
You believe. You believe and
Yes.
Which you have that.
Oh yeah. So, I was just this weekend at the Howard Gospel Choir's 50th anniversary concert.
I saw that on your Insta.
I'm like rejuvenated for the week. Yeah. We had church yesterday, like real church.
Oh, that was like full on. Oh, yeah. Like full.
Yeah.
It looked beautiful.
It was amazing. Yeah. And then it's like a reunion because you see like all of the people that you sang with for 4 years, and we traveled to Italy, to Slovakia, all over the place with my choir.
Oh my God, to sing.
Yeah. Oh. To minister. Yeah. Crazy.
Well, I know you know this, but also the craziest part for us has been the invite list. Is the venue that we have, we're capped at 200 people, right?
Oh,
which you think, 200 people is a lot.
Nope. Don't think about plus ones. Think about, who you forgot, this cousin and this friend and people that you just, because when you're like a giving, loving person and you have a lot of people and friends in your network, you want everyone to share this special day with you.
I know.
But it's like and I hate having to rank. I had to like rank people.
Yes.
Like, how important is this person really? Because our original list had 400 people on it.
I know. I think I read that about you. I was like,
who
damn.
do I think I am? Like, what is this? So having to cut that down to we got it down to 265, I think. That was hard.
It's so
hard.
Difficult.
Yeah.
And it's your mother, it's Chris's, it's all them calling and being like, you really should invite so-and-so.
My mother wanted to add a whole
person.
table. I was at my bachelorette party in Miami, and she's calling me with the wedding planner on three-way, like, I need to add an extra table and Candiace won't let me have one. And I'm like, you know what? Handle this. I gotta go. I'm trying to be naked. I gotta go.
I'm trying to be naked.
I can't. But like she wanted, and I'm like, are you gonna pay for this table? Because I wanted more flowers, and you said no to more flowers because she paid for most of the wedding.
I love
so you're gonna take the money you said no to the flowers and give it to this table of people I've never met? This is some bullshit. But then in the end, I think she got the table, and then people sat there, and it was fine. But like, it's a whole headache. It's like, well, these people, because my mom would say, well, you never met them, but they were instrumental in helping me to raise you and to becoming the woman that you are today. And I'm like, well, we can send them, an edible arrangement. Like, they don't need to come to the wedding. Like,
well, so that last season was a big storyline for you guys.
Yes, it was.
So can you give us a taste of like what is your storyline going to be this season? Because the wedding is always so good on Housewives.
Oh yeah. So Bravo loves weddings.
They love weddings.
There are so many this season, like across the Bravo sphere. There's so many different weddings.
Yes.
Like Mercedes from Shaw's got married.
Hers was great. I'm obsessed with them. Shaw's of Sunset is so good. Oh my
I love
God.
Shaw's. I love
I do
Shaw's.
too.
Yeah. Eva from Atlanta.
Yes,
got
I just
married.
watched that.
Denise Richards got married on Beverly Hills.
Saw that. That was
that was interesting.
She threw that together with like 2 sticks of bubble gum and some stuff. Yeah, she was like, okay, yeah,
it worked though. Yeah,
I actually like her because I do think she brings. It's so funny because of all of them, she's probably the most famous,
right? And she's the most down to earth.
She gives no shit.
She's not give a fuck. Her daughter wore sneakers, and it's like, I don't give a shit. Where are the sneakers?
She literally comes in with stains on her shirt. She's like, hey guys, are we ready to film?
Yeah, and she was talking about her now husband's penis too in like one of their episodes. She's
my
like,
God.
Well, I loved him because he had a big penis, and I was like, yes, girl. Be proud of your man's meat.
We've all been hypnotized by the dick. I mean, it's just like, what are you gonna do?
Yes. No. So, wedding is it's a good part of my story this year. But then we get married, and then we kind of move into, okay, now we're married. Like, we're looking at each other like, okay, hey husband, hey wife, like, what's next? We did some prenup stuff, which was kind of like, that will be in there, talking about prenuptial agreements.
Oh God, that must be hard to hammer out on TV, and I'm sure they loved that. I'm sure
all
they're
on
like,
your face.
yeah, they're like, tell all your demands.
Right. Yeah. So we went through that, we got through that, and then we kind of like moved into, just being married, and it's weird because we were trying to like adjust to being married, but we were also filming because the wedding was like at the beginning of the season. And then we shot like 2-3 more months of all this other craziness. And, you saw me fighting with everybody. You saw the stuff with Ashley and her husband. You saw us traveling.
Hear it. She was on the show. I think she did say on this podcast, she was like, you're the shit starter this year.
Well, listen.
I don't know if you like that, but
call it whatever you'd like. Shit starter or truth teller is what I like to call it. Like, it's not shit starting if I'm just trying to get the truth out of the people. That's the bottom line. Like, I'm not starting anything. I'm looking for facts. Yeah. And if the facts are, under the table, I got to go under the table to get the facts. That's not shit starting. That's just doing my job.
There's some juicy stuff this season too. The whole Michael Darby thing. I cannot wait to see how that unfolds.
Yeah, you can't, like, we could not have written that. Like, and the way that it unfolds. Like, I have a dinner party at my house, which you see where, there's a little butter knife situation that happens. And that happens like right after.
And what we're basically talking about is like, and this was national news.
Yes.
It was essentially that Michael grabs one of the camera guys or one of the guys that's working for Bravo, their butt, and that guy goes
and presses charges.
Yeah, he's like, you're sexually harassing me, you're assaulting me, I'm pressing charges. Then I'm sure we'll see how this all unfolds. But I think like 2 weeks later, the guy ends up like dropping the charges or something.
He did, and they determined there wasn't enough evidence or something of the sort. Or, I mean, maybe he was paid off, but I don't know.
So everything was dropped, they say. And I'm sure we're going to see how this all unfolds. But that was interesting to me because it was brushed under the rug fairly quickly. It was like, okay, this seems like Michael was no longer filming. Everything
they
had stopped.
Suspended him. That was also public news. Bravo suspended him from filming until they figured out the case.
And then boom, like a week later, it was like, okay, everything's cool.
Questions and need answers.
Well, you're the truth teller, so I mean, you got a case, girl, to solve.
No, and I think, everyone on the cast was like me. We all just wanted to know, number one, my first concern, believe it or not, was Ashley okay? Because how mortifying.
Right.
To, it's already weird because this guy is like 30 years older than you, and you've already got eyes looking at you, calling you a gold digger because he comes from money and you come from humble beginning, so you're already getting like there's a spotlight on you already. So then for you to have this happen, I felt bad for her, like damn, like this too. But then it's like, but Michael, I'm not gonna talk about Michael. But, sir, you do this to yourself, because if we look at the history, I was not on season 1, but I obviously was watching. And there was a scene in season 1 where Michael grabs Katie's, at the time, fiance's
butt. Yep.
And that was like a big thing.
Right.
And then there was something else that happened. I can't remember.
Well, then there was the alleged photos of him in London with his nude body, that he was with his gay lover.
Exactly.
That was alleged.
Right.
And they've always said that was completely not true.
Right.
And they've always said that was not his body.
Right.
But
I don't think it was his body either. I don't.
Okay. Yeah. Because that went pretty far. I mean, that was picked up by Radar Online. A lot of places, outlets had published that. And then they said that wasn't true. But
and then there's another thing that happens this season that
on top of the butt grab
is in a similar vein, that happens right before the dinner party. And then that is kind of talked about at the dinner party. And then this thing with the camera guy happens right after that. So it's like this succession of events that are in the same vein. Smoke, fire, they're the same,
Wow.
So you can't keep having the same sort of issues or the same sort of salacious events happen, and there's no truth to what's being said. That was really where I was coming from in my quote shit starting. If you want to call that shit starting, then okay. But let us not forget. Let us not forget who we're talking about here. Okay, because Miss Ashley Darby is the queen of shit starting. If you look at the history, okay, let's go back in time and see, what the way that Ashley purported herself on this show in the beginning. She was always in people's stuff, always asking questions, always starting shit, always wanting to know the truth. Karen, you're not being truthful about your taxes. That's none of your business. Right. But now someone is asking about public things that your husband is doing, and it's nobody's business. Lies.
We got questions.
We got questions that need answers.
We need answers.
Okay, with the full neck roll. I need answers. Yes.
I can't wait. This season seems so juicy. Seems like the best trailer yet.
Oh my God.
And I want, here's the thing. Are you ever privy to, a plan that Bravo has? Like, I want you, I'd always read that you all were supposed to be the next Atlanta, that essentially Potomac was to be on path with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I see that with you as the addition. Of course, Giselle's great.
We love Giselle.
Giselle's amazing. They
She's
love her.
She's a starter too.
Karen's really great. The Grand Dame has a great place. Monique. So it seems like they've got the right cast of characters. And yet, it's like, it seems like, you see a lot of Beverly Hills, you see a lot of Atlanta.
Right.
I'm like, where is our Potomac?
Yeah. Well, one thing I like to say is I while I love the comparisons to Atlanta, I think that we are our own cast of characters, if you will.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's, we are the two predominantly Black casts in the Bravo franchise. And I think it says, great things about what Atlanta has done to blaze a path that they were able to give the people another all Black cast of characters to sort of show, another narrative of Black women. And I love that. But I think Potomac is just that, a different narrative than Atlanta in a lot of ways. Of course, there are similarities, and we love the comparisons to Atlanta, but we are our own entity, and we live our lives here differently than they do in Atlanta. We're not in Atlanta. We're not in the South.
Different vibe.
It's a different vibe. It is. And because I'm from the South, I think that I bring a little bit of the Southern charm to Potomac. But I've also lived in the DMV for 15 years, so I'm assimilated here as well. But I think that this season is even us, for the long haul.
I love it. I'm so excited.
This season was so good. Just even being a part of it, I was excited. But then seeing everything that we thought and everything that we went through sort of personified in the trailer, it was oh my God, this is really good. It's juicy.
I've always wondered this too. Okay, so you and Chris, now together you guys have businesses. You came into your relationship with businesses. Chris has a barbecue pit in Alexandria, Virginia. Okay, tell us the name. Where can people find it?
It is called Myron Mixon's Pitmaster Barbecue. It is in Old Town on Queen and Lee Streets, right on the corner. So it's 2 blocks from Chart House and what's the other one? People know Chart House. So it's 2 blocks from Chart House.
Yep.
It's amazing barbecue. It's award-winning barbecue. People like to ask, is it Carolina barbecue? Is it Georgia barbecue?
Oh, right.
No, it's competition-level barbecue, which means that they smoke all of their meats dry, and then you add the sauces after, which is better because you want to be able to sort of customize your meat.
Your taste.
Customize your meats. Yes.
And then you have a long history. You and your mother started salons.
Yes.
Have a salon franchise.
Yes.
Then you have a hairline.
Yep.
So are we going to see more about that this season?
You will see more of the hairline growth. And a little bit of this Chateau Salon Suites growth. So we're actually in the process now of looking for a second location in the DMV to open a second Chateau Salon Suites. And we will have
yes, we're coming.
Yes,
we can't
come
wait.
On down.
Cannot wait.
You guys can do a podcast there.
Yeah, hell
yes.
Where's the first location? Where's it?
It's south of Atlanta, so close to where I grew up in McDonough, Georgia.
Okay.
Chateau Salon Suites. It's actually, my mom bought a building, and it's actually the second floor of her building. So the first floor is her practice. Yep. The second floor is the Salon Suites. It's 38 suites, and we're full.
Wow.
We are full in there.
That's fabulous.
So we're looking to do something on a smaller scale. This is a different market. So starting a little smaller up here, maybe 20 suites here, and then grow from there once it fills up, which I'm speaking into existence.
Oh my God, I love it. Yeah, I'm doing that too more. Yes. So this show is now on YouTube, Red.
Yes.
Hulu, as well as Netflix.
Distribution
deal.
Yep. And I said HBO. I said HBO. You put it out there.
And I'm a top talk show host.
Yes.
There it is.
Come on.
Oh,
Snaps.
yeah, please. I'm casting you and AJ and myself for the new Reel. We're taking over. You'd be so good.
This is our
she's
time.
An impressionist. Okay. Oh, my God. We'll be amazing.
Oh, my God. Are you really?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
A sick Kourtney Kardashian. Yes.
Please. Can I please hear something?
Yes, you need to hear it.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh. You want to hear a little bit?
Yes.
By the way, I wanted to say this is all amazing. I didn't know that you owned a salon.
Yes.
I know. She's an entrepreneur.
I love
Her
that.
mom's an entrepreneur.
Yes.
This woman is the baddest
I truly respect that.
bitch. I love you so much.
And thank you. No, and I honestly never thought I would become an entrepreneur. My mom has always been like this. And I was like, oh no, it's too much. Because I watched her build her practice.
It's such a grind.
It's so hard.
Yes.
And I used to work in her office, making copies, answering phones, doing phone calls, answering the phones. And it was hard watching. And at that time, her and my stepdad, he also has a diabetes practice in Atlanta. They were sharing an office. So they were building together and I was working for both of them. And it was just so hard. And I remember thinking I could never do this. And I don't know what happened. I got bit by the bug. And I think I was in my second year of college and I was like, well, maybe I could do this. And, having the help and the support of my mom and my
they've
stepdad.
been through it, right?
Yeah, it makes it easier to see that, okay, my mom has built these empires that she is, grooming us to take over.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like, okay, maybe I'm not, as small as I think I am. Maybe I can do it. Yeah.
My God.
Entrepreneur, that word scares me, and I've always wanted to create something for my own, but to see it actually happen and be successful, like I'm so scared of failure.
You can't fail.
But you can't.
You can't fail because you are accountable for whatever you do. So whatever you put out there, you're just automatically going to do more and put everything in you into it because it's your thing. It's like having a child, which I don't have any kids, but I imagine it would be similar to having a child because you build it from the ground up. It's your ideas, it's your thoughts. You're curating every tiny piece of that business. So you don't fail. You could maybe table it or put it on the shelf for a minute, but it's yours for the taking to come back and nurture whenever you're ready to do it.
Oh, I feel invigorated.
Yes,
I do too. I need to go start my own thing.
Start your business, girl. And then again, this, you could call this the feminism in me or the feminist in me or just the entrepreneur in me, but I am so hell-bent on supporting women-owned businesses.
Yes.
And and people of color that own businesses. That's like, I go out of my way to buy lotions and makeup. And like right now I'm wearing, oh my God, what is this called? This is, oh my God, it's in my purse. I have to show it to you.
Okay, get it. Yes.
No. Eyeshadow?
This is, my lip. My lip is Lip Fetish Cosmetics.
Okay.
This is my girlfriend from Howard University. She started her own lip line.
Love it.
And she's got like 6 or 7 amazing colors. I have this one and there's a nude in here, but she's got like all the colors. Like what you have, she's something like that.
Amazing.
She's good nudes and they're good on every skin tone. And it's like I could go to the store and buy MAC, but why when I can support my black my black sister with her lips? Yes. So yes,
support other women.
Listen, support women businesses.
Seriously.
And we are the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs is women.
And you know what? It's great because I'll tell you, just in this business, and our business survives off sales and partnerships and working. And the women-owned businesses, no offense, we love men, and there's many great men-run businesses that advertise with the show. But there is something unique and special about when 2 women come and partner. And I think women know the struggle a little bit, so they're also very willing to like support you and hear you. And yeah, there's something very magical about that. I'm all for that too.
I have chills just like because that is the truth.com.
They just get it. And I think, men, again, like I love men. And I do think we're in this funky place in society where I think a lot of men are getting really shit on too.
Right.
Like I think there's a lot of men coming up that are a lot more sensitive and caring and, you know, and you're losing that kind of generation where men felt like they could do what they wanted to women and there were no repercussions or very few. But at the same time, I think with men, they've kind of gotten by on this is a male society. So lots of times they just, they don't care. They're not,
or they don't know any better. I think a lot of it is some of it. I'm not giving them a pass because, I think a lot of times they do know, but they're socialized to believe or think that what they do is like, I think even with Joe Biden, I don't believe that he had ill intent in, in touching, putting his hands on,
snuggling with women.
He's not snuggling. And I will say too, I worked in the White House with him.
Yes, well, and I wanted to talk about that because you worked for the Obama administration, so we got to get to that. Yeah, okay, tell me. So you have some inside.
Yes, and that is just how he is. He's a loving, supportive,
hands-on person.
And I'm a touchy person. Like I like to touch people, and that sounds creepy, but I like to sort of I'm an emotional person, and I feel like to connect with someone, I want to touch your hand. I want to like put my hand on your shoulder. I want to,
I do that too. Yeah.
And I think that's what that comes from, and it's because of, like you said, where we are in society right now. You have to be careful.
Right.
You have to be more careful.
Yeah. And I think I know you see this, but I do see from other male entrepreneurs, it's so funny to me, but a lot of times men are like the only group of people, they want to tell you how to run your business, regardless of if they're in your business. And it's like, what? But they have no problem telling you how you should be running your business. And that's always fascinating to me. Like, okay, and I can't tell you how many men go, you know what you should do on your podcast? And I'm like, tell me what I should be doing on a show that's majority for women.
Right.
Tell me what I should be doing.
It's called Hey Frase, not Hey Man. Okay. Come on.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's true. They have no qualms.
Yeah.
So it's something special about.
But if that were reversed, it's like, oh, how dare a woman have the audacity to tell me how to run my business? You know, even with my husband, no shade. When I'm like, maybe you should do that. He's like, don't tell me how to run my business. I'm like, listen, sir.
Yeah.
I don't want your damn business. You can have your business. But this is just me being the nurturing wife that I am. I'm just giving you a suggestion. Thank you. But I think men get funky about women who are empowered and women who have their own voice.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say a threat, but maybe it is. It's like they feel like
there's just a slight resentment or something there. It's like a slight,
yeah.
And I think too, it's because for a lot of times in society, we've raised little boys to be like, you're tough, you're macho, you
can
got
do
this.
Anything.
You don't, I mean, they're really ingrained for that. I don't think so much anymore. I think people are becoming much more all-rounded. And a lot of young men I know are super sweet and very considerate of women.
Yes.
But I think there's also a group of men that are sort of, they grew up with a machismo. So then when it's like a woman's sort of like, no, I can do it this way, it's kind of a threat.
Right. It's just a shock.
Ethan, our intern, is looking at us like, what? What? No,
he's like, this isn't true.
Yeah.
No. Ethan is
never that.
Yes,
never
he's
that.
Never
right.
that.
No, he has a very gentle spirit. I can feel.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Okay, I want to ask you about. So you worked for President Obama and Joe Biden. Tell me, what did you do for them? Tell us about that.
I worked. This is a mouthful. I worked in the offices of public engagement and intergovernmental affairs.
Wow.
And I did. So I don't like this comparison because Omarosa has had her time, but I did basically on a lower level what Omarosa does, which was African American outreach.
That's amazing. Omarosa has a history on this show. She's been on this show.
Oh, she has?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, it was, it's legendary on this show.
Was she nice?
No.
What's your take on her?
Oh, no, she is the only guest. We flew her in from LA.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We paid her talent fee.
Of course.
I don't mind doing that. I always, because I'm at the point in my career now, if people are charging money for a ticketed event and then they want me to come and speak for free, it's like, no.
Right.
You're paying, you're making money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't mind that. And she was coming across country.
Yeah.
Now, she did rack up a $500 bar tab that wasn't part of the deal with some friends. So that we were like, okay. And then she did go on stage. It was for a live show in front of 300 people. And she set her timer for 15 minutes. That was the agreement. And when the timer buzzed, she picked up her purse and she exited the stage.
Ma'am.
It was epic. But she was on the August before Trump was elected in November. And she sat up there to booze and everything. She was like, Trump will be our next president. You wait and see. And I'm going to work. And speaking of speaking it into existence, people were like, boo, no way, no way. She was like, wait a minute.
Yep.
And
Watch
I'm going to be working. We're like, oh
and then
my
you
God.
worked for him, and then he kicked you out like yesterday's garbage,
Like
and
he
then you
does
were
with everyone,
crying on primetime TV, and now look at you trying to restart your career. But I don't fight with black women because I'm afraid of them. So,
well, right,
No.
we won't go there.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be either because she'll probably be hearing this.
Omarosa would eat us all.
Right.
For lunch.
Believe me.
yeah.
We're already.
Yeah.
We're like that poacher that was basically all they found was a skull and trousers.
Yes.
That is Omarosa
Yes.
after us.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah. So I don't go there.
But so you work for them. You're you're doing African American outreach relations. What was the vibe? I mean, because everyone speaks so great of them.
It was surreal. And then especially in the times in which we live now in politics, it's like the Twilight Zone. It makes me appreciate our former president even more, and the way that he ran the White House and the way that he treated his staff. And then you felt that all the way down to the smallest of the small, all the way down to the sanitation workers and the janitors and the people that worked in the cafeteria. Right. It was just a warm environment. And then so many people that worked on the staff came from the campaign. And I also worked on the campaign after that in 2012. And I didn't understand that dynamic until I worked on the campaign. But everyone is so friendly. I remember sitting, eating lunch one day, and my boss, his name is Michael Blake, he was sitting next to me, and a woman walked up to him and just kissed him on the top of his head. And I was like, what is going on? But once you work on a campaign and you're sweating and toiling, and you're wearing the same clothes for 3 days in a row, trying to register voters and begging people to register to vote, and policing your volunteers, I got it. Like, it's such a family unit that goes through something that you will never understand unless you do. Wow. And there will never be another campaign like Obama's campaigns.
Well, no, because he touched on, I think I keep looking for in the candidates, and again, it's really early, but you're looking for that magic. I mean, he transcended, right. And there's just those few people that come along. I think of JFK, you think of Obama, Bill Clinton. Yeah. They transcend race, age, nationality, and they just touch everybody because they have that magic. They have that gift. And he was one of those people.
Absolutely. Yeah. And to be able to say that for the rest of my life, that I worked for that guy and I got him reelected. Like, that's, I don't have to just mic drop. I can do nothing else. And I mean, I have to pay bills, but I could do nothing else. And that is just a part of my life that I will never forget and be so grateful for.
Oh my God. Yeah. So this is what I was going to ask you. Then we want your opinion on a couple stories, and then we end the show with 4 things that are poppin', which is everything in celebrity news. So did you and Chris have any hesitation? Because now the Housewives, it's such a great launch platform for businesses. Yeah. You see these women, like they have Bethany is a great example, but also Candy Burris, all
Erica
these women.
Jane has
Erica
her Shoe Dazzle thing.
Nene Leakes. I mean, they've all launched great things. Yeah. Did you guys have any hesitation about putting your businesses out there? I mean, you've got really well-established businesses. Yeah. I don't know. I would think it could go either way.
I do think that sometimes, depending on like the nature of your business, it can become a weird space. Like there's a cast member on a show I won't say, but her husband owns some kind of business, and they're friends of the show now. And he does not want to become a full-time cast member of the show because of the way that the show gets in your business, and he doesn't want it to affect what he does and his bottom lines, essentially. But for us, I think, because Chris is in the restaurant industry, I'm in the beauty industry, and just, real estate and general entrepreneurship. For us, it's a good launch pad. Because,
definitely.
I'm selling beauty. I'm selling an experience with the salon suites industry. So putting that out there is only serving, hopefully, to help us. And, putting the restaurant on the show is only serving to bring more people into the restaurant to eat these ribs and this chicken and these collard greens and macaroni and cheese. Yes.
I want to know what wig I can rock. What do you think I can pull off? Because I'm buying something from Prima, and I want to know.
Yes,
like,
you don't
what
need
do
a
you
wig.
think?
You just need clip-ins or a halo, because you have enough hair. Your hair is thick. You have beautiful hair. You just need clip-ins. Don't do a wig.
Wait, what do you do with now? Where do they put clip-ins? Like underneath, and it's almost like quick extension.
Yeah. So our clip-ins with Prima Hair Collection come in a 10-pack, and then we can match them to your hair. It's human hair, but it is processed because it's colored. And then you have great hair too. So you like.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I just got my clip-ins, but they didn't match my hair. Oh. So I got to go and color them to match the clip.
Yeah. Because the ends are a little bit lighter.
Exactly.
Yeah. But no, like the 10-piece, it comes like there's 2 like longer pieces that come all the way around to your ears. And they have shorter pieces that you can put like on the sides. You can, do you wear your hair normally in a middle part?
Yes.
So you can just do the two pieces, small pieces right here to give you a little bit of length. You could do different colors to give you highlights without having to process your own hair. It's a whole thing. Like, it's a whole situation that should be convenient. It's supposed to be convenient.
Oh, heck yes. Yeah. Oh my God, I can't wait. I love this. I love all the different looks.
Yes. Oh, listen.
Your hair looks so amazing.
I love the reason that we started this company is because I've always loved hair extensions. I've always had sew-ins, clip-ins, wigs, the whole thing. So why not
do it? Yeah, you love
sell this to people that love it as much as I do. Yeah.
Where do people mostly buy? Online, or is it all online?
It's mostly online. We do have a store inside of Chateau in Atlanta. Yeah. And we will have a store inside of the Chateau that will open in DC as well.
I can't wait for that opening.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my God. We're having a huge party.
We're doing it's going to be a big
live
launchy thing. Yes.
With the barbecue and then the hair. Oh, my God. Yeah, please. We're doing
Myron's
live hair.
Will cater.
We're doing live hair extensions.
We'll do hair.
We're doing clip-ins right there.
Yes. Do the whole thing. Oh, yes. That's going to happen.
What do you think? Okay, I want your opinion on this. You obviously you're beautiful. You have great skin. Your skin's like amazing.
Fantastic.
Serums. Really?
All
You're
the
vegan with
serums. All the serums.
Any go-to brands?
Oh my God. SkinCeuticals is everything. It also costs like the cost of a liver, but it's worth it.
Oh, great.
It's worth it. I think I use the SkinCeuticals CE Ferulic. It's like $185.
No problem.
So I'm
we'll
like,
just charge it.
I'm like just doing like tiny dabs, and you just tap it in. But it changes everything, and I use it in the daytime, and I also use a copper peptide, which what is it by? MYM is the brand, and it just is great for cell turnover. It keeps your pores small, it smooths you out, and it just makes you look like your face is like a baby's butt, which I love.
Yes.
And then sheet masks. I love sheet masks. I use the Neutrogena. The blue one, like the Neutrogena blue sheet mask. I do that like once a week. I have a steamer. I use Clinique's All About Eyes underneath my eyes. I use Mario Badescu's face spray. All of the things. Yeah, I could go on. I have it's like a 15-minute to an hour, depending on what I do, process for my face. And it's the highlight of my day. Like going home.
This is every day?
Yes. Going home and taking off my makeup and just it's like therapy.
Yeah, it really calms you down. It's a nice relaxer.
Oh, and the neck. Don't forget the neck.
Don't forget the neck. Oh my God.
Yes. No, but okay.
I'm just going to get like a massive facelift. I can't wait. I am.
Oh my God.
I can't wait to be nipped and tucked and pulled. Are you kidding?
God. Well, I'm going to do my boobs.
You are?
If I have kids, I'm going to do them because I'm going to breastfeed. They're going to die. They're going to die.
I know.
So I will do.
Right?
I will. Like my best friend just had a baby. And yes, we could do 2 for 1. I want a 2 for 1.
I don't really want big boobs. I just want them to be hoisted up because they do begin to all of a sudden you're like, these are really heading south.
Yes.
Like, why are my tits getting closer to my belly button?
It's disrespectful.
And no matter how much you bring them up with those bra straps, they're just
you want
sagging.
And in the summertime, you want to be able to wear the strapless or the deep V tops and stuff.
Yes, without having to
And if you don't have enough boob,
what are you going to do?
It just looks flat.
Yes.
Are you here for this pink mini skincare fridge that now you can put all your skin routines in?
Listen to me. I saw this on Instagram and I was like, what the fuck is this? Because I do put my face mask, I put my All About Eyes, I put my Mario Badescu spray, and one other thing in the fridge. And to have to go downstairs and get it.
Convenience.
And then I also use an essence, which is like what you use after a toner. The essence goes in the refrigerator too. And for me to have to go downstairs and get all these things and bring them upstairs, put them on my face, and then go back downstairs, it's a struggle. This fridge it's revolutionary.
Revolutionary. You can plug it in basically near your bed for $105.
Yes.
It's literally called Beauty Fridge.
Yes.
That's it.
I love that. And then the rollers, the face rollers, they have to stay cold. I like those, but I have to go downstairs and get them. It's a struggle.
It has a car adapter, home adapter, removable middle shelf.
See.
And then one makeup fridge. There you go.
Yes.
AC/DC adapter included.
Yes. The whole thing. I love it.
Okay, so you'll be ordering one.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, I would order 2. Just to have 2, because I think I have that many products I would need to.
Did you when you were dating before you met Chris? There's always a lot of discussion now about what it means when someone texts you back. Like when you're dating, if they text you back really quickly, if they text you back with questions. Did you ever analyze a lot when you were dating with the text message?
Well, I will first say that when I was reading this article, I was so happy that I'm married. I don't have to worry about this stuff, because for me, if Chris doesn't text me back, I'm not above showing up at his job, being like, knock knock, hi wife, hi. Wife here, respond to me. But I think Chris and I have a system. We get each other with the texting. He texts a lot. He prefers to text over calling.
Sure.
And I'm kind of that way too. So we text a lot throughout the day. I feel like if I don't text him after he gets to work at some point during the day, he will send me an emoji face what are you doing? You haven't, right. Yeah. You haven't texted me and I'm at work. Well, you haven't texted me all day. And I'm like, well, boy, I'm busy. What do you mean? What do you want from me? But aside from that, we have no problem texting. Oh, and I think too, there was something else in the article at the end. The woman, the therapist said something about texting should be used for light conversation and keep emotional things out of texting.
Yeah.
Chris and I actually do better when we are having an argument if we text back and forth, because we have I can turn up a little bit and get a little spicy. Just a little spicy.
I could
here
see you.
and there.
Oh my God, we've seen like a little snippet, but I bet in real life you are. It's epic.
I'm a Tasmanian devil when I'm like pissed. So like we've gotten into like
it gets heated.
Matches. Yeah, it gets heated, and we'll kind of go away from each other. He'll go downstairs, I'll stay upstairs, and then we'll text, and we actually solve a lot of issues because I can't interrupt him, he can't interrupt me. And there's no like tone or like facial expressions to like make you misinterpret things. And texting can be misinterpreted too, so you have to be careful with that. But we just find that after we've calmed down, if we text, that works for us.
Well, you're basically onto it because this woman, Michelle McSweeney, has done studies on communication. And here's what she suggests for texting. She says, frequent texting when you're first dating someone isn't necessarily a bad thing, which I would think you want them to. In fact, it probably means that your new boo is excited to get to know you. They're probably interested in you, especially if those text messages include questions or details.
Yes.
Questions indicate that they're trying to keep the conversation going and are genuinely interested in finding out who you are. Yeah, I would think that was obvious. Details indicate self-disclosure, telling you more about the other person. Yeah. She also goes on to suggest, which I think this is interesting because lots of times, people are busy with their work.
Yes.
So she says that you should tell your significant other or ask them that like, hey, I'm going to be like doing a test or I'm going to be out of pocket. Right. So then they don't begin to make assumptions like, okay, is this some sort of
cheating on me with the woman in her cubicle? Yeah.
Yes, which I think is really good. And she says, of course, when in doubt, ask, which I feel like no one does, right? Yeah. New daters are nervous daters. Yeah. If you like them, it's worth an honest conversation. But I mean, you gotta go out with someone for a while before you're gonna sit down and go, can we discuss like our texting?
Yeah, that's awkward. Yeah. Yes. I actually have I don't know if it's funny, but a story about texting with
Oh my
a
God,
guy.
tell us.
So this was like after I broke up with my boyfriend that was gonna be my husband, and I was kind of dating, and I never really dated. I was like always in a relationship, and I met this guy at work. He came into my job. We went out, had like I thought a nice time, and he tried to kiss me, and I was like, no, I don't kiss on the first date. But then he was fine after that. So then we left, went home, and I texted him the next day, and he was texting me at first. And then like the following day, he kind of like stopped texting. And I've never had this issue before. Like everyone I text me back like immediately.
Yes, you're super hot. I can see why.
I was like, wait, well, you're not texting me back? Like, did I do something? What happened? And I thought he died. He didn't die. I thought he died because he must be dead if he's not texting me back. But I honestly thought something happened to him.
Yeah, something had to happen because you didn't just not text me back.
You're not just not going to text me back. Like, what? And so then like 2 days later, he sends me like one word. And I was like, oh, you tried it. So I deleted his number, and that was the end of it. Then a year later, I see him at a restaurant after a pageant, and he's like, so hey, like, how are you doing? So you want to get up? And I was like, excuse me, I'm busy.
Too late.
And he's like, oh, wow, I messed up. And I was like, yeah, you did, bruh. And that was the end of that. But like that like still scars me. Like, oh my God, like someone didn't text me back. Like, what am I going to do? And you realize how attached you are to that instant gratification of like, I got to get texted back right away. It's crazy.
That is really, I love it.
He must be dead.
I promise you, I thought something happened to him. He must have died.
Somebody go check on this man.
Please go check on him.
Text me back.
He can't be breathing amongst the living. He can text me back.
We end the show with 4 things that are popping, which is everything happening in celebrity news. Beyonce's new Homecoming documentary got the release of a trailer.
I haven't heard about this.
It's going to be all about her performance leading up to it, and then the Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival last year. Remember the one that just, everyone, it was like epic.
Going crazy, yeah.
It's going to be streaming April 17th, and of course, fans have continued to freak out about this. Yes. The Drunken Love singer is the first Black woman to headline Coachella ever and nearly broke the internet.
Yes,
so this will show it. They're also going to give some very intimate side of her and her kids. It's going to be on Netflix.
Oh, very good.
So more pictures of her behind the scenes with those kids. Are you a big Beyonce fan?
I am a Beyonce fan. I'm not a Beyonce stan. Like people, like I'm not a beehiver.
You're not the beehive.
Yeah. But I love her, and I've always loved her. You know, I grew up with her when she was in Destiny's Child, and
I know
she's influenced. I sing a little bit. She's influenced some of my singing and where I want to go with my career. So yeah,
I'm more of a Rihanna fan because I like that Rihanna is edgy. Like Beyonce and Jay, I feel like now, you know, they're very they're presidential. They're an image.
Yes.
They're very, you know, Rihanna will still get in your face and tell you to fuck yourself, and I enjoy that. Like I can relate.
Yes.
Like
I love Rihanna too.
And she's like dirty, and I just love.
She's
gorgeous. The beauty. I'm in, and I think something about her is more accessible. They're very.
Yes.
They're on like another level, which is great. Just doesn't seem as relatable anymore.
Yeah. Her Beyonce's sister Solange is very much like that. Like
I like Solange a lot too.
She's kind of like free spirit. Her hair is huge. The wind blows through it, and
she'll beat you up in an elevator.
She will whoop your ass.
I know, and the other two,
okay?
Yes,
she's not here for the shits either. Yeah. Yeah.
We were talking about this, but there was big news in the Smallville actress Allison Mack pled guilty this week to charges related to the alleged sex cult NXIVM. I don't know if you guys have followed this. It's crazy. It's the kind of cult-esque of Keith Raniere.
Yes.
Many people, they say, are going to be pleading guilty as well to sex trafficking related to NXIVM. The Smallville actress pled guilty in New York City on Monday to racketeering charges related to her role in that cult-like group whose leader has been accused of sex trafficking. Mack entered her plea as jury selection was about to begin in the trial. So that story is crazy. I started to listen to a NXIVM podcast about it. I don't know if you're into it, but it just always blows my mind that in 2019, you know, people can fall into cults and get into this.
But it's okay. So I feel like this is a little bit of a psychoanalysis. I feel like that like lends itself to the idea that people don't feel like, or they don't have a support system. Right?
Yes.
Like, you have to be so kind of out there, like on an island mentally to feel like because I would never like you're not about to take me nowhere and have threaten me to have sex. None of like that doesn't happen. That wouldn't happen to me.
And then tattoo you. I mean, they were like literally taking like a cow prod, like a brander, and branding these women.
There has to be something that's missing. Something that you didn't get, something that you're not getting, that you would allow yourself to be sucked in like that. That's what's scary. That's what's scary to me.
Unbelievable. Avicii, I'm sure you heard some of Avicii's music over the years, and you probably remember, but Tim Bergling is his real name. He died April 20th, 2018 at the age of 18. And there's a new album coming out about Avicii, or his music.
I don't think I know. What is the song?
You know the song. What's the song? Levels? Oh, wait, can we play like a little snippet for her? Very EDM.
Yes. I like EDM.
This upcoming album, touchingly entitled Tim, is scheduled for a June release, with the first track SOS arriving on April 10th. Proceeds for the album will go towards helping those who have mental health issues and the prevention of suicide. So Tim took his own life, but he was like, there's a document. I'm obsessed with documentaries, but there's a documentary about him on Netflix that basically shows, I mean, he was like one of the fastest like growing EDM, and he was like producing all this amazing music. You'll definitely know the song when you hear it.
Okay.
But very, very sad. And he ended up taking his own life. And he worked like for 4 years straight. Like, he did this song.
Oh, yes!
Well, this one's fast. It was like a remix, but...
Yeah. Yes. I know this one.
It was a remix, though, but...
Just to give you, that story is so sad.
Yeah, I remember the story now. Yeah.
So much talent. Lastly, too, this was big news this week, but Felicity Huffman has agreed to plead guilty to cheating on her daughter's SAT scores in the college bribery scandal. Yes. Huffman is among 14 people who cut deals with prosecutors. The actress was charged with conspiracy to commit mail fraud and honest services mail fraud. She agreed to plead guilty on Monday, and a plea hearing will now be set. Lori Loughlin and her husband have not yet made any arrangement or entered pleas. Huffman was facing up to 20 years in prison, 3 years supervised release, and a fine of $250,000. So we'll see what she ends up getting.
Wow. Well, Lori was busy outside of the courtroom signing autographs, is what I heard.
We know
talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah, she was signing autographs. Can you believe that, Chet?
Like, girl, like where is your team? Where is your PR? Like, why? I mean, you don't have to look somber and like you're going to jail, but like there's also a line, and you don't want to be walking into court after you've committed a crime, waving at your audience and signing autographs. Like where's the Olivia Pope here? Like to get you in line.
I know.
True.
Felicity Huffman said this week, quote, "I am ashamed of the pain that I caused my daughter, my family, my friends, my colleagues, and the educational community. I want to apologize to them, and especially I want to apologize to the students who work hard every day to get into college and to their parents who make tremendous sacrifices to support their kids and do so honestly."
Very good.
Yikes.
Okay. We'll accept that.
I know. We'll
for now.
for now. All right, AJ, you have to give Candiace your Kourtney Kardashian on the way out.
I have to hear this.
Okay, go for it.
Oh my God.
Go for it.
You guys, this was such a good show. You did so well. Like, I just can't wait to watch, even though the Kardashians is like way farther in their seasons. But Bravo Housewives is like really good too. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
That was everything.
She's amazing. She's like an impressionist.
Oh my God.
Candiace Dillard Bassett, you are so fabulous. Where can people follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram at CandyGal09. You can follow me at CandiaceDillard.com and at PremiHairCollection.com. I'm there.
Love you so much. Thank you. May 5th, 9
May 5th
p.m.
at 9.
on Bravo.
Be there or be square.
Season 4, Real Housewives of Potomac.
Yes.
You're awesome. Thank you, girl. Yes. Oh my God.
I love it.
We're all doing a TV show. I'm saying it right straight. I'm saying it.
Pilot.
You, seriously.
Where's the pilot? Yes.
Seriously.
I am here for it. Yes. You guys have to come to the
We're
restaurant.
doing a pilot.
Come to the restaurant and eat.